When discussing economics, politics, and free market capitalism, the word monopoly often comes up. And truth be told, the term monopoly is a weasel word. The myth of the monopoly is that if the government were to just let go of the economy, then a business might become too big and too successful to the point of total market domination. And once that happens, the monopoly will just jack up prices to squeeze their customers and run roughshod over a certain market, if not the entire economy. Walmart is often accused of trying to become a monopoly, a big greedy corporation that sets up shop in these small towns with just one mom and pop supermarket. And Walmart undercuts prices so hard that it drives the poor mom and pop out of business. And when Walmart finally drives everyone else out, they'll just triple their prices and fuck over everyone in America. Okay, let's think this through for a second. Walmart would achieve such a monopoly status by undercutting prices so much that everyone votes with their wallet by shopping at Walmart. Okay, well, if they were to then jack up prices, what's stopping a new supermarket from coming in and undercutting Walmart?
Nothing!
After all, that's exactly what Walmart founder Sam Walton did and why he was so successful. Walmart did not just pop up out of nowhere. It's not like Sam Walton woke up one day and was like, I'm gonna apply to be a manager of a multi-billion-dollar corporation that has thousands of locations. No. Sam Walton built Walmart out of nothing. In fact, reading his autobiography recently, Sam Walton does not shut up about all of the ways he managed to reduce prices on goods in his store. Sam Walton had the biggest hard-on for retail and cutting costs. And Walton is not much different from guys like Andrew Carnegie, J.D. Rockefeller, Cornelius Vanderbilt, and even Mark Cuban, all of whom stress the importance of selling and attracting new customers. Carnegie, Walton, and Rockefeller especially were passionate about finding ways to reduce production costs, knowing that if they could pass that cost onto the consumer, that they'd have a strong competitive advantage. When Standard Oil was competing with the Russian oil producers, who were able to produce oil much more efficiently and thus undercut Standard Oil overseas, Rockefeller scrambled to find new ways to cut costs while improving the quality of Standard Oil's product. Rockefeller would end up winning a decades-long war with the Russian oil producers overseas, which resulted in better and cheaper oil in America. America, fuck yeah! In fact, Standard Oil is usually a go-to example to illustrate how damaging monopolies are. But Standard Oil never squeezed customers by jacking up prices. On the contrary, Standard Oil constantly found ways to reduce prices by maximizing efficiency and consolidating the market. Over time, thanks to Standard Oil, kerosene lighting went from being a luxury that only the very rich could afford to becoming a product that the middle and even lower class could afford. Further, Rockefeller did in fact have competition throughout his career, two notable examples being one, the Russian oil producers, as I just mentioned, and two, Thomas Edison, when light bulbs began challenging the kerosene lamp market. The Russians were actually a huge competitor given that over 50% of Standard Oil's product was exported and sold overseas. And while Standard Oil commanded around 90% of the American oil market at the peak of its powers, oil was never more than 1% of GDP and was less than 1/3 of the size of the shoe industry. And the company began losing market dominance as competitors like Texaco and Gulf Oil emerged in the 20th century. Another issue that monopoly alarmists complain about is the fact that Standard Oil was able to attain what seemed to be exclusive rebates and discounts with railroads. But the railroads offered these discounts to anyone that could ship at Rockefeller's volume. Now, if anyone takes issue with a company offering discounts on high volume purchases, then you should demand that Costco cease to exist. But back to Walmart. If Walmart did what the monopoly alarmists predict, then it's very likely that a new Sam Walton will come along and undercut them. The irony of accusing Walmart of trying to become a monopoly so that they can eventually jack up prices once market dominance is achieved is debunked by Sam Walton's fucking existence. Even a monopoly like Alcoa Aluminum priced their products accordingly, knowing that if they ever jacked up prices, that a competitor would swoop in and force prices back down. What's also important to consider is the context in which the term monopoly is used. Many of these mom and pop supermarkets that the monopoly alarmists claim to defend and care about are monopolies in of themselves, for they have a market dominance over selling groceries to a local market without any competition. If anything, Walmart is the one that's fostering competition. For decades, many have been whining and crying about Walmart becoming a monopoly, as if they were this unstoppable force. But those days are over, because now there's a new big bad monster monopoly emerging. That's right, Amazon is now the big bad monopoly. Amazon is now hurting all the small businesses and mom and pops, threatening everyone's job. Of course, Amazon, like Walmart, came out of nowhere and was created out of nothing by an ambitious entrepreneur like Jeff Bezos. Amazon is achieving all this success because millions of people are voting with their wallets and choosing to shop Amazon. By the way, while we're here, why is it that big corporations like Amazon and Walmart and billionaires like Sam Walton and Jeff Bezos are the ones that are demonized for being greedy and selfish? What about all the customers that choose Amazon and Walmart in an effort to save money and save time? Aren't all of Amazon's and Walmart's customers just as greedy and just as obsessed with money? It's interesting that nobody slams Walmart's customers for their obsession with saving on groceries.
Sounds to me like a double standard.
Also, Bezos, like Sam Walton, is now the target of media and political scrutiny, with accusations of unfair labor practices, use of overseas sweatshop labor, driving out small businesses, and costing taxpayers money. One of the big ones is that Walmart and Amazon employ workers that are on welfare, particularly food stamps, and are thus costing taxpayers money. Okay, but how is this Walmart or Amazon's fault? It's not like Walmart went to Congress begging to provide their workers with food stamps. No, it's usually the same people that demonize big business and wealthy people that advocate for these programs in the first place. Even if we go to the websites for Snap and WIC, they explicitly say that they're meant to supplement low-income workers and families. If you ask me, these programs are doing exactly what they're meant to do. Whether a welfare supplemented worker is employed by Walmart, Amazon, McDonald's, Starbucks, Uber, some family-owned restaurant in the middle of nowhere, is irrelevant. And when considering Walmart, what's not discussed is the fact that many people on food stamps choose Walmart because their dollar goes a lot farther given Walmart's choices and low prices. Of course, this fact would probably make a liberal's head explode, knowing that Walmart is essentially double dipping on the tax benefits that liberals themselves advocate for. Fucking morons. But it's not just the left. President Trump and the so-called pro-capitalist magatards have been shitting on Amazon and Jeff Bezos lately. Oh no, you guys. Amazon's customers and distributors are using the post office to transport goods, and it's costing tax dollars. Whatever, Mr. I'm gonna continue a long tradition of deficit spending while subsidizing farms and other businesses and spending tax dollars to educate kids in the Middle East.
What an asshole!
But these big big greedy corporations have so much money. They should pay their workers a living wage. First off, the concept of a living wage is stupid. Second, it's not a business's responsibility to provide people with well-paying jobs. Third, these businesses probably cannot afford to give their workers a significant pay increase. I know for sure Walmart can't.
Well, let's go to the quote, the world's largest company, depending if you want to measure it by sales or you can do it by market capitalization. These are all very boring words that leftists are going right over their head. Walmart, the evil and hated Walmart, $77 million in executive compensation in 2014. They have 2.2 million employees. If we spread that wealth out, we spread it out, share a little like they told you in kindergarten, that would result in an average increase of $35 a year for every Walmart employee. Now, the math proves to you that this cannot be done with any company, let alone the majority of them, let alone the largest ones and the ones that are the primary responsible people for a company.
And please don't suggest cutting into the profits because those are for the shareholders. No profits means no business, which means no job in the first place. Not to mention, Walmart already does not pay the best dividends, while Amazon pays absolutely nothing. The fact of the matter is that companies like Walmart and Amazon, just like Standard Oil was in the 19th century, are good. They're companies that provide goods and services that millions of people willingly buy every single day. Jeff Bezos, thanks in part to Steve Jobs, has enabled me to carry around a fucking library in my pocket and has saved me tons of trips to the store with Amazon Prime. And now Bezos is trying to make flying robot delivery and missions to Mars a reality? This guy is trying to bring Futurama into the 21st century, and all of these pieces of crap have the gall to hate on him. I wonder how many of these unthinking dipshits also turn around and virtue signal about how much they fucking love science. Yeah, everyone fucking loves science until someone uses science to get rich. Regardless, if a business achieves market dominance from people voluntarily choosing their product, then that's a testament to how good the company is and should be applauded. Such an achievement does not grant people the authority to dictate how the company operates via force of government. If you don't like how a company runs their business, then either make your own company and compete with them, or shut the fuck up.